Okay, so now that you kind of see what we're aiming for, I'm going to show you how we got there. So the first thing you're going to want to do is download WordPress from wordpress.org. Head over to wordpress.org and press this blue button here at the top, Get WordPress, and we can download a copy here. That'll take us to our downloads folder. I'll switch over to Finder here so you can see it. It's still downloading, and my computer unpacks it automatically. Once you have the folder, you can open it. These are the files, mostly PHP files, that make up the content management system, WordPress. We're going to take all these files and we're going to move them over to this folder I've created just for this course called Udemy Portfolio. This folder lives inside of our sites, which is important for our local server to recognize. And the folder name for our site is Udemy Portfolio with hyphens and all lowercase. Okay, so now we have WordPress inside of our site folder. And when we go there, it's going to be localhost 8888 and Udemy Portfolio. WordPress is going to try to configure it here. But before we move on, we're going to need to configure a database for WordPress. Now, if you are doing this live, your web host, GoDaddy, I know, several others will do this automatically for you when you download WordPress as an extension to your host. But if you know how to do it, even better. So before we go here, I'm going to go to PHP my admin, which is going to be important for managing all of our local databases. This lives at localhost 8888 / PHP my admin. And that's what MAMP kind of sets up for us. So here you can see all of my databases, of which I have many. We're going to create a new one over in our databases tab. We'll title it Udemy Portfolio. And don't worry about this. You can leave, that's the encoding. You can create it. Okay, so now we have our database. It's created. It's titled Udemy Portfolio on our local host, and there's no tables yet. Okay, so at this point we need to assign privileges to this particular database. Here you can see all of my usernames active. For you this might just be empty, or you might just have root, but we don't want to use root. We're going to create a user just for this database. So here I'm going to add a user account. I'm in my privileges tab here. I'm going to title it something that makes sense. Udemy admin. Host is going to be our local host. Password is going to be Udemy123. Confirm. Definitely make your password stronger when you actually do this in real life or on a live site. And I want to grant all privileges on this database as well. Global privileges, I don't have to worry about, and I'll say go. Remember this information, write it down, take a screenshot, whatever. For the cases of testing your site out, you're going to need this. Administration, I want. Okay, great. You've updated the privileges for Udemy admin at localhost. Now, go back over here. I'm going to select English as I'm configuring my WordPress site. And continue. Here it's telling us before we get started, you're going to need this information. That's why it's really important that you have this, that you created this, and that you have that information accessible. It's also, you're able to do this manually in this WP config file, but don't worry about that for now. We'll say let's go. And WordPress is going to ask us for this information. So the database name, if you remember, was Udemy Portfolio. The username was Udemy admin. The password I created was Udemy123. The host is our local host, and the table prefix, every table that WordPress creates is going to have this prefix. You can leave it, you can get rid of it, you can leave it at WP underscore, that's fine. won't affect how the site actually runs. Once we press submit, it says, all right, Sparky, you've made it through the part of the installation. Now WordPress can communicate with our local database. We're set. We're going to run the installation, and it's going to take us through a few simple steps. So the site title is going to be, let's say my company name is ER, for my name is Eric Richards. So my site title is going to be ER Studios. My username, this is for logging in, like you would log into the admin interface of Facebook or any other content management system like that. My username, I'm going to say admin for this site. My password, I'm going to leave it at Udemy123. Again, this is going to want to be stronger when you actually create your site. I'm going to confirm the use of a weak password. I like that it asks me that. My email, I'm going to give it my actual email. And search engine visibility, you wouldn't want to check this since you want your site to be found on Google and stuff. In this case, since it's on our local machine, this is doesn't matter anyway. It's going to stay install. Later on, there's all sorts of search engine stuff that we will learn how to do. So for now, this is it. Just a simple WordPress site up and running. Okay, I don't need to, I'll remember it for this site actually. Password chosen, I'm going to log in. Okay, admin, and remember our password, Udemy123. Of course, this might be different for you. I'm going to have it remember me just to make testing on my local site as streamlined as possible. I'm going to log in, and welcome to the WordPress interface. So this is what it looks like for you when you're going to administer, create new content, pages, posts, comment, whatever that looks like. If you want to sample what your site is actually going to look like, up here you can go to the Visit Site tab. It's going to take us to our local host, Udemy portfolio. And so here's what it looks like. Right out of the box, it has created a few pieces of content for us and a sample page for us to look at. This is the built-in WordPress theme that it starts with, and it's scalable. It's pretty nice. Be great for just like a news site or something like that. Here's the title of our site, just another WordPress site. Okay, so now we have a site. We're logged into our dashboard here, and we're ready to start editing and tweaking and making this our own.